Hi, second grade. Mrs. Shook again. We're here with grade 2 skills. We're working on Unit 3, Lesson 12. Our learning goals: identifying the I and I sound in oral words, so words that you're going to hear. And then review the sound spellings for I, E, and I. And then distinguish between common and proper nouns. Okay, so again, here are the trees we've been using. The first is the I tree, and then the I tree. I tree has words like hits, sit, him, igloo, into, insect, issue, and pin. And the I tree has spellings like IE, such as tie and lie. Friday and ideal have I, and then I space E like fine and sight. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to say a few words like I've done before, and then you guys are going to indicate which tree that word would go into. All right, first we have hit. That would be on the I tree. Bit. Also the I tree. Next, bite. On the I tree, that's an I space E spelling. Next, sit. That's a short I sound. Number 5, tines, like the prongs on your fork, tines. It's another I. It's another I space E. Flies. A lot of flies outside in the summer. Flies. It's a long I sound. Next we have flit. Flit. Short I. Next is lit. Again, the short I. Followed by kit. Short I. And our last word is kite, which is another long I sound. Great job. Okay, so we have the I spelling IE, like in the word tie and lie and flies. Looking at the power bar, you see it's pretty small, right? Here are some words that have the IE spelling for the sound I. Die. This is like when something's no longer living, not the dye like to color your hair. Tries, ties, flies, lies, and pie. Okay, and our other spelling was with the single I, like in biting. This is a much larger power bar, so it's more common of a spelling that you will see. And if you notice this biting, like in our other long vowel sounds, which is a single vowel or single letter, it's at the end of the first syllable. Biting. That's why it's a long I sound. Okay, some words with that I spelling: lilac, siding, spider, silent, and item. Okay, so here's a list of 6 words. And when we say each word, we can hear how the I is going to make different spellings or different sounds. So sometimes it's going to make an I sound, sometimes the I sound. And again, it's going to depend on where it falls in the word, if it's at the end of a syllable or not. Okay, so number 1, we have sin versus sinus. So sin is the I sound, whereas sinus is the long I sound because it's at the end of the first syllable. Number 2, we have trip with an I versus tripod. Tripod. It's a long I sound. Okay, and number 3, we have sill, like a window sill, short I sound, versus silent with a long I sound, silent. Okay, so just remember that again, when the vowel is the last letter of the first or one of the syllables, when the vowel is the last letter of a syllable, it's going to have a long vowel sound. In this case, long I, like sinus, tripod, silent. When it doesn't, it's going to have the short vowel sound. Okay, this section. Here is a sentence that has been all scrambled up. Okay, so take a look take a minute, look at it, try to figure out what the sentence should look like. It currently says, notebook, Kate did get read a. So what would that sentence say? Okay. So it's going to say, Kate did get a red notebook. All right. And then a quick review of common versus proper nouns. So nouns, as we know, are people, places, and things. Okay. Common nouns are just a generic noun, a generic thing. Whereas a proper noun is a specific thing, like the name of something. For example, if I said boy, if you're a boy, raise your hand, and you're looking at a whole group of kids, there's gonna be a lot of kids with their hands up, all the boys. But if I said Bob, raise your hand, that's referring to a specific person, right? For example, if I said name a city, you could think of hundreds of cities, but if I said Utica, that's one specific place. School, find a school. Again, there's many schools to pick from, but if I said find Utica Academy of Science, for example, that is our specific school. All right, so again, common nouns are a more generic term like boy, school, city, whereas proper nouns are specific names of specific things, people, places, or things. All right, our activity page for today, 12.1. You are going to look at the sentence. You're going to rewrite the sentence using capital letters where they need to be. At the beginning of the sentence, for example, any proper nouns, adding punctuation. So like number 1, it says the man has a shop on Pike Street. So they rewrote it with a capital T on the. The man has a shop on, and then Pike Street is the name of that street. So it's capitalized, capital P, capital S. And then at the end there is a period. Okay. Then notice that there's in parentheses the word or the number 3. So that means there are 3 nouns in this sentence. Man, it's a person, shop, and Pike Place. Pike Street. Pike Street and shop are the 2 places. Okay, so you need to indicate the nouns in the word. So in the parentheses tells you how many nouns are in that sentence. But also specify between a proper noun and a common noun. So in number 1, again, it says the man has a shop. So man could be any man, shop could be any shop. They are common nouns. So you're putting a box around the common nouns. Pike Street is a proper noun. So circle all the proper nouns. So number 1, the man has a shop on Pike Street. Man, shop, and Pike Street are the 3 nouns. Man and shop are the 2 common nouns, so they are inside of a box. Whereas Pike Street is the proper noun, and it is circled. Okay, so you're going to continue doing that with the rest of the sentences. Fixing them and then identifying what kind of noun it is. Again, the directions, if you forget, are on the side of the page. Okay, and if you don't use the sheets and you do Google Forms instead, you're going to work on lesson 12 in Unit 3. Great work today. See you tomorrow.